Alright guys, so we all know that for some reason there is a giant Fortnite cube that came from the lightning in the rift and closed the Fortnite rift, and we all know that the cube is moving somewhere but nobody knows where, and I think I actually found out the secret of where it's going. You guys aren't gonna believe this, but I am 99.9% sure that the Fortnite cube is going to go to Tilted Towers and destroy Tilted Towers. Yes guys, you heard me right, I am 100% serious. This is what's gonna happen when the Fortnite cube eventually decides to go active. But before we get started, boys and girls, if you do love the new Fortnite Cube event so far, make sure to smash a fat like on this video, and if you want to see more updates on Fortnite and the Fortnite Cube event, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on so you never miss a video. Everything we know about the cube so far is that it's pretty much on the move and that it acts super weird. I mean, if you shoot at it, it'll fire lightning back at you and launch you super high into the air. I'm pretty sure if you're near it as well, you get shielded, but in this video, I'm going to be telling you guys where the Fortnite Cube is moving to. And if you guys are a NICKMERCS fan, I did a video earlier this week where I watched NICKMERCS play 1000 Fortnite games, so if you haven't watched that and you are interested, make sure to click the link on the card on the top right of the screen. You guys should definitely come back to this video wherever the cube went is revealed to see if I was right or not, but let's get into it. Alright guys, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Twitter and look up Fortnite Cube. We have tons of memes and tweets about the Fortnite Cube and lots of people talking about what might be inside it. But in this tweet right here, it shows us where the cube might be going, and this is a Fortnite Leaks Twitter. If you guys don't know how these events work, they're already coded into the game, and these accounts, what they do is they look at the code and try to find out all the stuff that we aren't supposed to know before it happens. So if you don't know what any of this code means, don't worry, just keep watching. I'm going to explain it all to you right now. This screenshot said that the cube is going to have around 7 moves, and that this bottom line of code says start move. I'm thinking what's going to happen, it's going to all of a sudden start flying to a lake, and then the final line says turn on, which can mean a ton of different things. But something does not seem very right, because obviously as of the time of me recording this, the cube has not done what it's supposed to be doing. It's already past move 7 and it hasn't done anything crazy yet, so people are speculating that a lot of this code was actually put in there to mislead the leakers and people who, you know, go into the code, for them to actually just be misled in the entire community to, you know, guess something that actually isn't going to happen, so it might not even be going to a lake at all. This is where my theory comes in, guys. I honestly do not want to say this, but I think it might actually be going to Tilted Towers. Whatever is going to this, I mean, a lake is pretty much the opposite of a city. You got to think about it like this. And obviously the Fortnite coders don't want us thinking that it would go to somewhere like Tilted Towers, because even though that nobody really likes Tilted anymore because of all the people going there every game, I mean, it would make a lot of sense for them to, you know, try to take it out and, you know, have a lot of players, you know, more spread out in the entire game. Obviously, this isn't the first time someone said that this is going to be the end of Tilted, but it would definitely make a lot more sense here since this is the end, or Season 5 is ending pretty soon, so it might make a lot of sense for them to at least change Tilted a little bit, because it hasn't really changed that much since Season 4. So guys, what I'm going to go into now is the cube countdown. Now, this is something that a person in the Fortnite community made. This is a completely, you know, independent site, and based on all the leaks, since the cube has not done moving, basically this guy has constructed a countdown of when it's approximately supposed to move again, guys. And as you can see here, it's at 10 minutes and counting down. So hopefully this is pretty accurate, and I'm going to be checking in the Fortnite game in like person to see if this is actually accurate. Alright guys, so I'm landing here, and we have about 2 minutes and 43 seconds until the cube is set to move again. So I'm gonna go and gather myself some materials and wait for the cube to move. It might do something crazy this time, I am not too sure, but make sure to watch this whole part, because I think something actually, like, I have a feeling that something really weird is gonna happen once, like, this cube starts to move. Also, I've kind of let this little area here slide, like I didn't want to put anything here, because in case the cube does like something crazy and like flies up and does something really weird, I don't want to die as well, because I want to show you guys that entire experience. But if something like that does happen, I definitely will go back in the replay files. Oh, that's it. Oh my gosh, guys, that was it. That was the cube moving. It moved again. Okay, guys, so once again, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This cube is moving not to Salty Springs, Tilted Towers. I'm telling you guys, it is going to go to Tilted Towers 100%. I guarantee you this. There's more on the video about why later in the video. I think it's going to be like right after this clip, guys. But yeah. Alright guys, so I didn't notice this at first, but the cube kind of glitched out for me. Like, I don't know if this was like a thing that happened with like everyone's game, or if this is just the replay and it's kind of like corrupted or weird. But basically this is what happened. Like, take a look here. So the cube is kind of moving, like it was originally here, right? Cube was here, and then all of a sudden, it does this. Watch. It does that. Why does it do that? Is that like some kind of glitch? And then it does it again. It moves twice. So the cube, I'm not sure if this is like in the actual game or if this is just like replay being weird or anything, but the cube moved twice. So either that means the cube is picking up speed and it's getting a little more aggressive, or just my replay is kind of messed up. But as you can see, I'm right there and I built this little area. So yeah, if you haven't seen the Fortnite Cube in person yet, seriously, you should, because some of the stuff you can learn from the cube is actually pretty insane. If you attack or shoot at the cube in any way, the cube will respond to you with some kind of lightning, almost as it's like defending itself, and it like a living thing would. Every living thing has survival instincts, whether it's some kind of like microscopic animal or a giant whale. All of them try to survive when they're being attacked, and since the cube might be some kind of embodiment of the rift, an entire dimension, it's pretty obvious that no doubt the cube might be alive in some way. What we could also talk about is the cube's radius. Like when you step in the general vicinity of the cube, it gives you this little animation that shows up around your screen that gives you shield every few seconds. I don't really know what this could mean, but I'm thinking whatever the shield potions are made of are in some way connected to the cube. Maybe the shield potions came from another dimension, or maybe whatever is inside the cube gives off the same effect. I think that was a pretty crazy addition as well, because if you add the shield effect to all of this, it kind of, you know, it's almost like contradicting to the whole fact if you attack it, then it'll attack back. It's almost like it's trying to help you, but it doesn't want you to, you know, get in its way. Yet other people on the Fortnite Reddit, they're claiming that somehow the cube isn't alive or anything, but it's some kind of magnet. It's supposed to be attracted to something, and that's why it's slowly moving a little at a time. And while that could be a good theory, I still don't understand why it's constantly changing directions. I feel like this thing has to be conscious to some respect. I mean, it wouldn't make sense if the cube was a magnet when you think about it, because again, this thing is constantly changing directions. This thing, it's like it's moving on its own. It's slowly moving there. Yeah, it could be a magnet when you think about it like that, but also in this perspective like that I'm trying to give you guys, this thing could be alive, because not only, like, I don't know any kind of magnet that would kind of react like that if you were to, you know, interact with it or give you shield at the same time. When Epic Games added the shield and the whole, you know, lightning when you attack it kind of deal, I think it definitely, you know, it makes it seem a lot more alive, the cube. Because if it's just like there, sitting there, then yeah, I can maybe understand why it could be a magnet slowly moving there, but it's, you know, it's flipping over, it's on its way, like it's moving. When you have a cube, you know, if a cube needs to move, it wouldn't just, you know, slide. A magnet would normally like slide like that, but a cube that is alive would probably want to move its faces. And the last thing we're going to be talking about in this video is just looking at where the Fortnite Cube is going. Now, honestly, this Fortnite Cube, since that last turn that it's had just a few minutes ago of me recording this, it basically threw off any predictions of it going to Salty, guys. You need to understand where it's going to be going. Alright, guys, so I've zoomed in on my Fortnite map just so you guys can get a better picture of what I'm talking about here. So, as we already know, the Fortnite Cube is moving over in a diagonal pattern here, but, you know, it's slightly below Salty, guys, so you need to understand that it's probably going to go below Salty or even above if the cube decides to do something crazy. But I really think the cube is going to surprise us and do something like weird. And you know, when you think about it, people have speculated that it was going to go to like Dusty Divot, it was going to go to, you know, Shifty Shafts, Retail Row, all of that stuff, but I don't think that's the case here, because even if the lake part is slightly true in the code, Tilted Towers is the closest area to a body of water. You have to think of it like that. And if you're coming back from this video and it did do something to Salty, then I happily admit that I'm wrong, because in reality, when you look at it from that perspective, it can, you know, somehow look like it's going to Salty. But I really think this is where the Fortnite devs, you know, they like to do crazy stuff, you know, they like to have fun with their community. I definitely think they're going to try to give us the impression that it's going to Salty Springs, or that it might be going to Loot Lake, and you know, it's going to completely throw us off if it does go to Tilted Towers. And I definitely think that that's what the devs, like, they're famous for doing stuff like that, just throwing off the community. If you remember the missile strike, it was going to land for Tilted Towers, but something happened where it didn't, so this could be, you know, like the resurgence of that. Anyways, that is going to do it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed at any point, make sure to leave a like on this video, and also tell me down below your comments on what you think about the whole Fortnite, you know, cube mystery thing. If you think anything else, do you think it's going to go to Salty? Let me know down below. And also, if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications on if you are new around here for more Fortnite updates and news. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.